This is Antoine Williams, E-Nation YouTube channel, back with another one. Yeah, probably my last one, so I turned the AC off so I could do this last video for today. But yeah, me working my 9 to 5 because slow motion is better than no motion. It's funny because yeah, I was looking through the videos that I had saved that I wanted to do a reaction on, and I like this one. This one, I've literally been thinking that in my head lately. I watch a YouTuber. He's my favorite YouTuber. He's the reason why I decided to finally make some videos. Walter Lee Hampton. And lately, he's been posting a lot of inspirational stuff. And he was getting me all worked up. He's like talking about, you know, building, working to get the stuff you want in life. And honestly, he was getting like I always like listen to his videos when he talks about that. But he's been saying it so much, it was really giving me like, yeah, man, I need to try. And it's funny because I've been thinking this exact same thing from this video in my head a lot lately. Slow motion's better than no motion. Because I've been working a tech job for like 4 years. And it's going fine, but I've been in tech since 2016. And I'm still a Tech 1. I've been a Tech 1 for almost 10 years now. And I just haven't really made any progress. But you know something? That's my fault because I haven't really gotten any certifications. I haven't really pushed I make more than I made in my first tech job. Like my pay is way better now, but I haven't actually made any like progress. And like I'm not a Tech 2, I'm not a systems administrator. I'm nothing. I'm still on that ground level. But listening to his videos, I just think like, man, I need to improve. Do this, do that, like do something to progress. I can't just sit around and expect things to get better. I'm making steps towards trying to, well, honestly, like, I don't know, my job is, I enjoy my job so much, maybe I will just sit at a Tech 1, but I'm still trying to progress in other ways. And the reason why this slow motion is better than no motion is because I went and got a second job. I'm working part-time now when I'm not in my tech job. I got a job basically making in Texas. They have these places, these drive-thrus where you can pick up like alcoholic drinks. So I got a job at one of those companies, and I've been working like 5-hour days. So I'll work my tech job, then I'll go work 5 hours, so you make these drinks, and then you can get tips from it. So you make the drink for them. It's much less than I make at my tech job, but this is exactly what I thought. Slow motion is better than no motion. And I said I work that job proudly. Like some people would think it's beneath them, especially once you've been working in tech for so long or a professional job for so long. But it's not. It's not beneath anybody. It's a honest day's living, and that's just gonna help. Like I want to pay my car off. I have this Challenger, and I owe like $12K on it, and I'm slowly chipping away at it. Slow motion is better than no motion, but I realized that getting a second job, I could pay it off a little bit faster because I have some motorcycles I want to buy, and also I don't like being in debt. So I got this second job, and yeah, this video just made me smile because like yeah, there's nothing wrong with working hard. I'm all about that. Whenever I hear these people online talking about all these, oh yeah, I used to have this friend. We're not friends anymore. I got tired of him over the years. I was friends with him since like 2006. Yeah, I met him in my freshman year of high school. And I was friends with him up to this year. I dropped him this year because I was tired of his antics. And the thing with him was when we were younger, he was fine. He's actually the person who got me into tech. He taught me a lot about computers and downloading stuff and working with folders and things like that. He taught me a lot of that when I was young. I used to have a PSP, and he taught me how to like modify it and move stuff around on it and change like the design and all this stuff that really got me into technology for me to end up going to school for it. But as we got older, he was always trying to find the easy way. He always wanted to find like the get-rich-quick scheme. He was always trying to get rich-quick scheme. He was always trying to make some quick money, and that was it. Like he was never trying. Like he would say a idea, like we can just do this. Like he would always say these weird ideas where, well, we give them money, and then they do something with it, and then they give us money back, and we make all this money quickly. Like he was always trying to find some sort of way to make money fast. He would be saying all those ideas, and I was like, well, we could open a company and we can mow lawns. He's like, he'd be like, no, that's work. That's like actual work. Like that will take like every day. That's not. I'm like, yeah. What's wrong with that? That's what we're supposed to do. You're supposed to work a job and make money. You're not supposed to try to like just make money. Like that's not how life works. And as we got older, he would do his little things and it would never work out. And then his life was always in disarray. He just lied about a lot of stuff, and he would do a lot of scummy stuff. And it just hit a point where I was like, I know you're lying about this. And he wouldn't admit it. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of you. Like, I can't prove you're lying, but I just know from like all the context clues that you're lying. And you're so adamant that you're not lying that I'm like, you know what? Enough is enough. And I dropped him. But, yeah, I would, and there's a lot of people like him online. Like the money. I remember when I have a sister that I met. And when I met her, she was trying to get me to do this money game thing where everyone puts in like 20, it's like a circle. And everyone has like a tile on the circle, and there's a person in the middle of the circle. And everyone puts in $20, and then they pay out the person in the middle. And then someone else moves to the middle, and then everyone puts in $20, and you pay out that person. It's supposed to be a way to make money. But I started explaining to her, like, that doesn't make sense. Like, that's not, like, mathematically, like, you got to keep, it's basically like a kind of like a Ponzi scheme, it's just a house of cards. It can't continue forever. And mathematically, it doesn't add up, because if we're all giving our money to the person in the middle over and over again, eventually, like, and you have to keep putting money in, eventually it's going to hit a point where you need like a ton of people, or you'll never get paid out. And that's what, so first she was doing it with $20. Then I believe she did one that was like $100, $200, put that much money in. People put money in, the person in the middle gets all the money. And eventually it just stopped working out for her. And those type of situations, they always go that way. Like the thing, I know it's probably not completely true, but I just try to live with the mindset that like, there's no shortcuts. You got to work for it. You know what I mean? Like I just try to live in that way, that if I always have to work for it. Because I feel like the more you try to get over on people, the more people get over on you. But if you provide an honest service, an honest day's work, most times people will you'll make honest money. If you're providing honest service and you're not making honest money, like honest good money that you're happy with, you should leave and try to make that money elsewhere. Because if those people aren't being honest, then you can't work together. I think that's the way things should be and how people should operate. But yeah, let's go ahead and read the comments. I haven't read these yet, so this is completely fresh. Oh, first comment. There's nothing with capital NOTHING wrong with making an honest living. Exactly. Excuse me. When I go to the gas station, or there's a thing called a Whataburger here, delicious in Texas. When I go to Whataburger or the gas station, or there's like a sushi place that I'm going to go to today called Umaya Sushi. Whenever I go to these places, I tell them there, man, when they give me the food or when they cash me out, I say thank you, I appreciate it. Because I do. And I know how hard customer service can be, because I worked at Family Dollar, Walmart, now I work at this food place. I know how difficult customers can be and how negative the experience can be working there. So I try to be positive and tell them I appreciate you guys doing this. And I also respect them. I respect them for getting up and working a job. And like what he says, slow motion is better than no motion. And this is what I was thinking when I first saw this video and I went up to turn the AC off so I could talk about it. You got to start somewhere. Slow motion is better than no motion. Just getting in the habit of working that 9 to 5 of working. When I told my nephew this, and I'm glad that he has the mindset where he can handle it. If you can handle going into work consistently every week and working 40 hours, there's nowhere you can't go from that. Because if you can work those 40 hours, you can work those 60 to achieve a goal. You can work those 80 to achieve a goal. When I was in college, I worked these jobs, and I went to school at the same time. And it would be like, I used to hate it because I would have no days off. It's like I would go to school all week, and then I would work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So there was no day where I wasn't doing something. And although I didn't like it at the time, I realize now that was the best thing for me, because it got me in the habit of pushing through. I'm not saying you need to be excessive and like physically hurt yourself by how much you're working, but I'm saying there's nothing wrong with working hard. There's nothing wrong with working hard when you're getting something out of it. There's nothing there's nothing noble about not doing that. There's nothing noble about not pushing yourself and not challenging yourself and working hard to benefit yourself. That's like, it's a good thing. It's a great thing about being alive. It's a great thing that you can even have the ability to do that. Some people don't have the ability to do that. So when you have that ability, it's better than just sitting, like, I love enjoying life, but sometimes it's also good to work hard so you can benefit more out of life. I'm living outside of San Antonio now. I live like 25 minutes from, I was just looking this day, the Spurs Stadium. And they got tickets that could be like $200, $50 for games, and like you can go and see a game. And there's probably gonna be parking and all this stuff to pay for. But I would love to experience seeing a live basketball game. And where I lived before, there wasn't, like, Toronto was the closest one, and I was never gonna go to that. Here, I'm actually close to something. So, and doing stuff like this, working 2 jobs, working gives me the ability to not have to sit around the house or watch it on TV. I can actually go there, drive there, and watch the game. And that's like I'm grateful that I have that opportunity. But yeah, I'm gonna read it says there's nothing wrong with making an honest living. I'm gonna read some of the comments. See. It says, well, there is. You won't be able to financially stay afloat, but morally, yes, there is nothing wrong with this kind of honest living. Yeah, you got to start somewhere, though. I kind of understand. I agree with what they're saying, that you won't be able to financially stay afloat, but morally, like, they didn't say this, but I'd like to address this type of argument where it's like, well, I don't make enough of this job, so I'm just not going to work it. It's like, okay, well, now you don't make. I'm like, now you don't make anything. It's like that type of negative thinking is only going to hurt you. Like, well, they're not paying me enough. Like, they're not doing this, they're not doing that. It's like, if you feel, there was a job I worked that I hated, and I hated this job. I absolutely hated this job. I was miserable at it. I felt like they disrespected me to like such a high level, and I wanted to quit. And I was talking to my stepdad at the time, and he told me something. He's told me a lot of things that I always go back to because he's right. But the one thing he told me, don't quit that job until I have another job lined up. He said, because I need to work to support myself. Like, I can't just keep, the older you get, like, you can't just keep quitting jobs. You can, but you shouldn't just keep quitting jobs, putting yourself in, like, a situation where you have nothing, and you have to depend on other people, you have to depend on government. Like, sometimes you have to stick things out. You gotta tough things out for a little bit. So he told me, don't quit that job till I had another one. Oh, I had to stick that job out for very long. I had to stick that job out for, like, over a year after that. So I stuck it out at that job, and I actually ended up getting a better job from the context I made from that job that I ended up loving. So that was that was like the first time I ever stuck it through, like knuckled it through, and it paid off in amply. And it's kind of the same thing with this. Like, you work that 9 to 5 where, oh, well, you can't make it financially this job, but it trains you and it motivates you to go out and get something better. It trains you to be able to handle a job. Like, you need that practice, and you do get some benefit from it, as opposed to just sitting around the house, watching TV, doing nothing, just trying to survive. You know what I mean? So I would say it's always better to do something rather than nothing. Sometimes it might not be enough, but I mean, even if let's say you're working a job and it's just not enough financially, you can try to work things out. Like, okay, well, how much more money do I need? What are my bills? How do I get these bills down? Is there a way, like, let's say you are renting, can I get a roommate who maybe can pay the rest of it? Like can I maybe, like, get a girlfriend? Okay, maybe I should move her in. We can try to make it together. You know, oh, maybe I need to downsize my life a little bit until I make more. Maybe I need to get a second job. I need to I have this job, I have that job. Now I need to switch one of these jobs out for a better job as soon as I can, so I can financially make it. Like, that's more of a positive way to think about it and work on it, as opposed to, oh, I'm not making enough, I'm just going to give up. Like, that's not going to get you anywhere. You got to kind of be a little bit more flexible and more productive. So yeah, let's read another one. Let's see. Let me lace y'all. I don't know what that means. I grew up poor, yo. Well, what is it? Okay, let me read this first, and then I'll respond. Let me lace y'all. I grew up poor, yo, like actually poor. I grew up with food insecurity, food stamps, ran out before the month did. I didn't know if I would eat or have dinner. I had 2 pairs of pants and 3 shirts my senior years of high school. I got shoes, socks, underwear on Christmas or my birthday. That's it. The only money I got for the week was a $20 bill for working, helping my older brother. I'm lucky I didn't end up on drugs, jail, or homeless. My life changed when I got my job at the grocery store I worked at. I started when I was 21 on 3 days because I was in college. I was so poor and had grades that the FAFSA covered college completely. I'm now 37 and the second person in charge at my job. I'm now married, have an apartment in my neighborhood I was displaced from, have a car, and have been to Europe twice in the last 7 years. I can never complain about a check. Some jobs aren't for everybody. Go find what is, but never down what someone else does for a living. Don't get sidetracked by negativity or middle-class people's complaints about the job. They can quit and live at home. They have family money. Say yes, never turn down an opportunity, and show up. You may never make as much money as someone else, but you can improve your life. You can improve your own life if you put in the work. If you put the work in. Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting that. Especially from the beginning, I was like, "What the heck is this?" But yeah, that was a great little thing he said there. I agree with him completely. And I find it kind of like halfway through, I was finding it kind of amazing. Like he said he started when he was 21 on 3 days, and I kind of wish he started at 18. Man, you would have but it all worked out. But I bet you when he started working that job for 3 days, it clicked in his mind like, I need to make this money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I need to make this money. It helps so much. It was already night and day once he started working and making that money. I made that same mistake. I worked young. I started working at 16, but I used to blow all my money. And when I was in college, I used to work as few hours as I could to pay for gas for my car. And I went through the same thing, like eating food I didn't enjoy, like not having money to do things I wanted to do. And in hindsight, I realized if I would have worked more while I was in college, I would have been able to also enjoy life at the same time more and not feel like I was always so broke. So this is what I took out of this, what he was saying. But also, I think it's great that I love what he said about don't look down on anyone who's working. I agree with that 100%. Like, I don't look down on, like, that's why whenever I read these stories of people complaining about this, complaining about that, or talking about, well, this person needs to take care of me, or this person needs to do this and that for me, I'm always like, why don't you just work a job? Because I respect people who work above all else. Like, that's, like, people who work and support themselves, that's, like, that's great. That's what you need. That's what everyone needs to be doing. Obviously, some people have disabilities and stuff where they're in a circumstance where they can't, or they're underage. But everyone else, I'm like, just work. I'm like, I don't disrespect anyone who works a job, who works and pushes himself and tries to progress. Like, that's how things get better for all of us. That's how we got here, and that's how things progress to be better for everybody. Like, all this other stuff, really, when people are just being negative, they're trying to cheat the system, like, none of that is going to get us anywhere in the long run. So yeah, this is definitely my last video today. It's like the 4th video I made. I'm going to slowly post them. I really enjoyed this time, and I'm going to try to find some more stuff. Maybe some current events. Maybe like things that are going on, like things that happen. Try to get more in on the pulse of what's going on with my area, with the country. Try to do some more commentary on that. But I enjoyed making these videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.